In this question, we're told that Ollie drove 56 kilometres from Liverpool to Manchester, and then we're told that he drove 61 kilometres from Manchester to Sheffield. We're told that Ollie's average speed from Liverpool to Manchester was 70 kilometres per hour, and that it only took 75 minutes to drive from Manchester to Sheffield. We need to use this information now to work out Ollie's average speed for his total drive from Liverpool to Sheffield. So let's represent the information that we've been given in a diagram. We can call this point L, which represents Liverpool, then call this place M, which represents Manchester, and lastly we can call this point S, which represents Sheffield. And so the distance between Liverpool to Manchester is 56 kilometres, and the distance between Manchester to Sheffield is 61 kilometres. We're told that Ollie's average speed from Liverpool to Manchester was 70 kilometres per hour, which we can write down in our diagram. We can also add the fact that it took 75 minutes to drive from Manchester to Sheffield, and this is where we need to be careful with our units. We're told that it took 75 minutes to drive from Manchester to Sheffield, but we're given speed in kilometres per hour, which means we should convert this value of 75 minutes into hours. And so 75 minutes in hours will be 75 divided by 60, which is 1.25 hours, which we can add to our diagram. And so in order to continue to work out this question, we need to have knowledge of a very key equation. And so we can say that speed is equal to the distance divided by the time. And so now using this, we can work out the time it took for Ollie to travel from Liverpool to Manchester. We know that the speed is 70 and that the distance is 56, and so we just need to find out the time. And so to find out the time it took from Liverpool to Manchester, we'll do 56 divided by 70, and we'll get an answer of 0.8 hours. And so we know that the total time from Liverpool to Sheffield is equal to 0.8 plus 1.25, which gives us a total of 2.05 hours. We also know the total distance because we're told that Liverpool to Manchester is 56 and then Manchester to Sheffield is 61 kilometres. And so we can say that the total distance is equal to 56 plus 61, which gives a total of 117 kilometres. Now we need to work out Ollie's average speed for his total drive from Liverpool to Sheffield. And so we've found out the total time and the total distance. We can use these values to now find out the speed. So we'll say that speed equals distance over time. So we have a distance of 117 divided by a total time of 2.05. And so plugging this into our calculator, we'll get 117 divided by 2.05 equals 57.0731, etc., etc. So now let's round this to two significant figures. And so we can say that the speed is approximately 57 kilometers per hour, which we can write down in the answer box just below. Now part A is worth 4 marks, so let's take a look at where we can get these 4 marks. The first mark will be for finding the time taken from Liverpool to Manchester, which we did by doing 56 divided by 70 and getting 0.8 hours. Now the second mark is for a process to find either the total distance or the total time, which we've done over here. We found both the total distance and the total time, which helped us to find our final answer at the end. So that's our second mark. And now the third mark is for a correct process to find the average speed and making sure that we have our consistent units. So we find the average speed by doing 117 divided by 2.05, and that's where we get that third mark for showing our working. And then finally, our last mark will be for getting the answer of 57.0731 and rounding this value to an appropriate degree of accuracy. And so the mark scheme accepts an answer in the range 57 to 57.1. And so our value of 57 kilometers per hour will get us that fourth and final mark needed to get 4 marks for this question. In part B, we're told that Janie drove from Barnsley to York. We're told that her average speed from Barnsley to Leeds was 80 kilometers per hour, and that her average speed from Leeds to York was 60 kilometers per hour. Janie says that the average speed from Barnsley to York can be found by working out the mean of 80 km per hour and 60 km per hour. So if Jamie is correct, what does this tell you about the two parts of Janie's journey? To find out the average speed for two journeys, we can't actually find the mean. What we need to do, we need to find the total speed divided by the total time. But Janie found the mean, and it says that Janie is still correct. So that means there is an assumption that needs to be made. So if the total speed divided by the total time is the same as working out the mean, we can say that the two parts of the journey must have taken the same amount of time, and so we can write this down in our answer box below. And so now we've answered part B by saying that both parts of the journey must have taken the same amount of time, allowing us to get that final mark for this question.